Good Saturday morning, and thank you for joining us. I'm Jacqueline Sarkeesian. Tanya is off this morning.
And I'm meteorologist Chelsea Andrews. Jacqueline, there's a lot going on today.
There is a lot, and I have to say, the drive into work, not so pretty.
Yeah. Not
a little wet.
Certainly not the best we've seen. We've got some drizzle out there early. Also, dense fog advisories in effect for most of central Texas.
A man was killed after being hit by an alleged drunk driver while riding his scooter. It happened around 3 o'clock yesterday morning on Red River Street in central Austin. We're told a 911 caller heard a loud noise and followed debris to find an unresponsive man. First responders performed CPR but were unsuccessful. Police found 21-year-old Olivia Gruhl a few blocks away from where the crash happened. They say they smelled alcohol coming from her car and arrested her. They believe she's the one who hit the man and is now charged with intoxication manslaughter. A man who lives nearby told us it's unfortunate what happened near his neighborhood. Fox 7 noticed a broken fence with skid marks and dirt tracks next to Gruhl's home. Police have not yet released the name of that man killed. Tuesday is Mardi Gras, and that means partygoers will be out celebrating this weekend. Police are again reminding drivers to find a safe ride home if they plan to drink. APD is also conducting another No Refusal initiative. It runs through Monday morning at 5. Anyone suspected of drunk driving who refuses a breathalyzer test will be forced by court order to provide a blood or breath sample. Officers say even a few drinks can impair your driving. The best thing to do is designate a driver before you go out. Now, if you find yourself that you've had too much to drink, catch a bus or train, call a cab, ride-sharing service, friend, or just stay where you are. In Austin, you don't mess with Willie or Stevie, and if you do, you're going to have to face the music. A 39-year-old Philadelphia Eagles fan learned that lesson the hard way. And TxDOT officials are urging drivers to avoid the I-35 and 51st Street intersection this weekend. TxDOT will open part of the roundabout on Sunday morning, but until then, crews will shut down lanes in each direction for paving work. Detours are set up for the traffic approaching the intersection, but there's still going to be plenty of delays. Now, this is a look of the finished product, and as precaution, police will be stationed at the circle to guide drivers. The full project is expected to wrap up by spring. The White House says the president is unable to declassify a memo by House Democrats. Officials say the report contains several passages that need to stay classified in the interest of national security. And another big resignation in Washington. This time it's a member of the Justice Department. Rachel Brand, who is the number 3 official at the Justice Department, plans to step down just after 9 months on the job. The department announced that Brand accepted a position as an executive vice president for Walmart. The government suffered its second shutdown in just 3 weeks, but like this one, the last one was short-lived. Money technically ran out for the federal government on Thursday night, but lawmakers scrambled to pass a bipartisan spending bill early Friday morning. That was just before federal workers were due to go into work. The $400 billion budget will fund the government through March 23rd. As part of the compromise, it also includes more money for the military, which Republicans wanted, and more money for domestic agencies, which is what the Democrats wanted.
But we've got a cold front on the way, and that is going to usher in a different afternoon air mass.
Talking about?
The temperatures we've got right now, 50s and 60s. Okay. That's probably the warmest we'll see all day.
Oh, wow.
40s and 50s by this afternoon, then tomorrow back into the 30s.
Okay, but at least it's not in the teens.
Yeah, no teens for us. You have to kind of get into the panhandle to see the teens.
The Austin Chamber of Commerce and the LGBTQ Chamber have officially thrown their support behind bringing Major League Soccer to the capital city. A soccer team in Ohio called the Columbus Crew is considering moving here. But in order to do that, they'll need to build a stadium and practice facility. But some of the locations they're considering is still causing some controversy. Fox 7 Austin's Casey Claiborne has more on that. The parkland discussion is technically still on next week's city council agenda, but there's been a request by Parks and Rec to postpone that. Also next week, City Council is expected to decide a proposed paid sick leave ordinance, and Council member Greg Kassar is a sponsor of it. The ordinance creates rules for earned sick time for private employers. Kassar says people working within the city limits should be able to earn at least an hour of sick time for every 30 hours they work. Council is expected to vote on this during next Thursday's meeting. If it passes, businesses will have until October to come into compliance. Still to come on Good Day Austin, we take you to the Austin Beer Garden Brewing Company for a look at how you can take home a four-legged Valentine and give back to Austin Pets Alive. That's after the break.
You're watching Good Day Austin on Fox 7.
Well, people in Williamson County are learning more about a cave that was found underneath the Brushy Creek subdivision. Cave experts returned for a second time yesterday to take a look inside of the cave. It's 22 feet tall, 45 feet wide, and 170 feet long, and extends east underneath 2 or 3 homes. Williamson County says structural engineers will evaluate the cave on Monday to determine the stability of that cave and what options are available for repairs. For now, the cave is boarded up and being blocked off. And speaking of caves, today is actually the Austin Cave Festival. It's happening at the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center. The free family-friendly event includes cave explorations, hands-on activities, presentations, and live music. Visitors will have the opportunity to visit 2 caves and learn about the animals that live inside of them. Make sure you wear clothes you should always wear clothes and closed-toed shoes. If you don't mind getting dirty, then you can just simply plan on exploring the caves. The festival runs from 10 this morning until 4 in the afternoon. And if you're looking for a last-minute Valentine, how about the four-legged kind? Fox 7 Austin's Jane Lonsdale has the details on today's Sweet Barks event benefiting a local animal shelter. Well, one man is dead after a fire inside of a travel trailer in Manchac. A neighbor saw it go up in flames around 12:30 yesterday afternoon and called 911. 2 men were sent to the hospital yesterday afternoon after stabbing in South Austin. It happened at a parking lot on the 4400 block of Pack Saddle Pass. Officials say this may have been a homeless-related situation and a personal issue between the 2 men. We're told one of the men had critical injuries. The other man was sent to the hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. And we're learning more about a 52-year-old man accused of robbing a Wells Fargo bank on Wednesday. And 2 Austin police officers recently served 1-day suspensions for violating the department's protocol on vehicle pursuits. According to a memo by Interim Police Chief Brian Manley, the officers failed to end a pursuit when it became dangerous to the public. It happened last October 24th when the officers tried to stop a stolen vehicle, but the driver took off and a chase began. Manley says the pursuit should have been called off. Instead, it ended with the suspect's vehicle colliding with another car. Both officers accepted responsibility for their actions and served their suspensions on January 30th. A third officer was mentioned as being involved, but he wasn't named, and we don't know if he also had to be suspended. Well, it was a bizarre accident in the Houston area, and it ended with a woman being sent to the hospital. She was on the 3rd floor of a parking garage yesterday when she accidentally hit the gas pedal instead of the brakes in her car. The vehicle smashed through the wall of the garage and was sent flying into some apartment. Amazingly, the woman was able to walk away from the crash, but she was still sent to the hospital to be evaluated. No one else was hurt. We've had at least 2 similar crashes in parking garages here in Austin. If you're looking for a summer job at one of Austin's pools, the time is now to apply. The Parks and Rec Department will be hosting an aquatic hiring day today. You'll be able to apply to work as a lifeguard, pool attendant, swim instructor, or swim coach. Pool attendants make $12 an hour, and all other positions make roughly $14 an hour. No experience is required, but you must be at least 15 years old. The hiring day is out at the Aquatics Administration and Training Center in Central Austin. It runs from 1 until 5 this afternoon. Okay, well, from acrocats and acrobats to magic and carnival, a very fun weekend here in Austin. And here's some ideas for you in our Fox 7 weekend. So several big shows are coming to Austin this year, and tickets went on sale yesterday for a number of them. Those shows include Gary Clark Jr. at ACL Live from June 13th through the 15th. Paul Simon at the Irwin Center on June 4th, and Fish is playing at the Austin 360 Amphitheater. That's out at Coda on July 31st. Tickets to see 30 Seconds to Mars go on sale next Friday morning. They're playing at the Austin 360 Amphitheater as well on July 7th. Okay, we've got another hour of Good Day coming up, so don't go anywhere. Here are some of the stories we're working on. Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and if you're looking to get your sweetheart or friend some flowers, we've got some tips on how to pick that perfect bouquet. Plus, we've got an update about how Congress ended a government shutdown this week, but there's still some unfinished business.